Be the Formula, episode 42. Today we're just gonna essentially, I need to train, I need to get some work done. We're gonna go and see the new HQ. Looking at a little gym that I'll be using to film all content. It's a private facility that I'm gonna have exclusive rights to. At this point, the HQ would have been launched. You will have seen the Instagram page. We're going to discuss today over a bit of a topic of why we've come to this and why I've created it and the things that's to follow from it. Oreo! We've got Magda's check-in to do. She is around just on the... We'll mark 2 weeks out this Sunday from our show in Poland. This will be our final show of the year. Very, very successful competitive season. Our first ever one. We've took so far. We took 2 third places at the Rainstrick Rumble. That was a regional. Two bros. Then we went to the Arnolds. She got 5th place in the beginners, and she got 5th place in a class which nobody competes to place 5th. No one competes to place last. However, with how stacked the lineups are in the bikini division, she should be very happy. I'm very happy because it shows that the judges see what potential she has and where she can be. We spoke to the one of the main judges on the day of the Arnolds, and I just asked, like, instead of waiting for the feedback, because again, imagine you sitting here having to give feedback to like over 125 bikini girls. Your feedback, this is not me saying it is, could be very generic, i.e. you need to bring this up, need to bring that up. So being fresh at that moment, I took advantage, I spoke to him. He says we need to be a feather tighter and we need more muscle maturity. So what we have control of is being a feather tighter. We do not have control over muscle maturity with the time we have. Now, Magda had a photo shoot on Saturday in the cold weather. It was wet, it was on a beach. And she's now been ill. I'll show you one of the pictures actually she sent me. They're fucking awesome. They're so good, so different from an athlete point of view. Obviously last year we did a photo shoot. She was in the gym, and now we're not. These are some of the stage shots. So as you can see, a pretty stacked lineup. Mike Gary, this is one of his clients. These are both his clients actually. 2 very, very good bikini girls. Wow, I see her doing very, very good things. Here is Magda, stood on the outside here, and then obviously as we go through, this is the first time, the first call out, then we've got her on her own. For me, generally, we're going to need more glute, we're going to need a little bit more hamstring, more across that top line. So here again, Magda stood on the far right. You can see the difference in what they're looking for. So again, far right here. Let me find one. So this is the still first call outs. Where is the... don't know what that is. Where are we? So this was the top 5. This lady, I think she actually went on to winning the whole show. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. My bad. So 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. So the people you expect in it sometimes are not there. So that was in our open class. We'll now go to the bikini division. So again, this is the first call outs. Magda is stood here. Very, very big class. And you can see again from a structure, going back to what I was saying about generic feedback. This guy here, I can't remember his name, he's not on Instagram, is the one that gave us the feedback. And again, if we look at, let me go to this, to where we stand today, if it will, we can see that it's a little bit difficult to see because A, she's tanned, B, the lighting in this is a bit darker, but you can see in her midsection there's definitely tighter here, and we're around the same body weight now, so I'm very happy. So let me just go from here Did she get one from Purely the Rare? Again, from a bikini division, she'll be wearing her hair laid down, so you're not going to see any of her back, but you can see that lower back. And here, in my opinion, she definitely looks tighter across this. And this can be a factor in many things, i.e. it could be that the volume of water, the volume of food, or so on. And even sometimes the lack of food. But we're controlling that. We know pretty much what we need to do from a peaking protocol going into this one, but again, all can change in the coming weeks. I'm going to give Magda a check-in update, see where we are from there. Then I need to create a bit of content. Need to basically going to do a post on, do you hire a coach or a cheerleader? Because 9 times out of 10, and it's very hard here, but you hire me to do a job. You hire me to get you from A to B, and sometimes that requires me being savage, and sometimes it requires me giving you a pat on the back when needed. Now, there's far too many coaches out there that constantly give pats on the back and yes queen, blah blah blah, and it's a big detriment to your outgoings when you're not seeing the results from being a yes queen kind of coach. But we'll get this check-in done, we'll do some content, and then I'll talk to you about a few topics I've got on my mind, and also about the HQ with me pretty much as frequently as possible. So for this week, for example, Thursday, if you are awake and you are up early, even if it is just you send me a weight and a quick glimpse of pictures, please do. Same Friday, and then Saturday see how a loving relationship builds trust, or he trusted me then. We're going to touch on the subject of communication within a coaching process. Now, realistically, this can be very minimum between a client and a coach if that client is very thorough with filling out all the details in their check-in sheets, or how that coach collects data. Some people do it through WhatsApp or whatever. Now, what I find is some people, it's individuality with the systems, i.e. some will use a quick kind of consultation form on a weekly basis to collect the data I need, and I'll pull it from that. Some will fill out a very in-depth check-in sheet through Google Sheets. Now, sometimes life gets too busy and you can't always find the time, which then we need to, again, through a communication aspect, we can talk about time management. But without knowing that, we can't. I need to be able to, as a coach, and any coaches watching this need to be able to implement the correct system and the correct process around increasing communication, or increasing the data is collected through that process to yield the best results. Now, I'm going to talk about my relationship with myself and Mike Gary. Mike Gary has a very in-depth check-in sheet, and I don't really have any excuse as a coach of why I can't fill all of that out. But through having my intensive amount of knowledge on why he's asking me those questions, if any of those problems ever arose, I'd be able to say, right, Mike, my digestion shit, my fucking bowel movements are this, my shit's looking like liquid, so on and so on. But without that, without me having that knowledge, he will never know unless I fill those sheets out. So me and Mike built up a very simplified thing of where we track my rested heart rate, because I've had a heart attack, and the importance of rested heart rate is very good. My blood pressure and my fasted blood glucose, the session, my performance, and where my diet adherence, fluid, and sodium, etc. is. But again, down to the client, we need to ensure that that's there. I'll often have clients jump on a Zoom call with me and kind of just restructure that, or if I have the time, I'll meet up with them. Through the knowledge now of the HQ, you see that there's 2 packages, Unstoppable and Life. I will have my clients from Life be promoted up to Unstoppable when I think that they are unstoppable, and I will regress a client from Unstoppable down to Life if I feel like right now this in your life, this unstoppable mindset needs bringing back a bit, and we need to build those habits. Now we're going to touch on the next topic, which is pressing the fuck it button. We've all done it. From from people in prep to photo shoot preps and all this, and this will cost you a placing if you're in prep a lot of the time. But if you don't, again, going back to the communication point, if you communicate, we can fix this. But it is very often, and coming up to the months ahead, is going to be even more common that people essentially have a snack off plan and press the fuck it button. They have a meal off plan and they press the fuck it button for the rest of the week. They have one shit session and they say back to it Monday. The way of dealing with this is simply to get back on track. So I've got a client, she's in prep. She's been invited to best friend's hen do, which is a Friday. They're going to go for food at lunchtime. So the plan is already there. We already know this. We've reduced calories through the week. She's going to have protein and veg for meal 1. She's going to have a meal out, and she's going to have protein and fats the rest of the day after that meal. So we've allowed for it. So it doesn't allow her to press the fuck it button. She's having one meal. And then you've got other individuals who probably like, I'll fit in a lifestyle individual in the week will create a larger calorie deficit and will almost bank those calories. So the weekends they can have a meal with a partner, they can have a meal with a roasting with their family or stuff like that. What you need to understand by immediately pressing that fuck it button and not getting back on it, you're essentially digging yourself back into that hole of feeling like shit, losing motivation, because you're not going to be motivated when you're in that fuck it state. My view is just give yourself a little pep talk and remind yourself of how great it felt when you ticked all the boxes, when you went for that gym session, and you'll emotionally be connected to routine and rigidity of your life is going to make you feel happy, and when you're happier, shit gets done. So it's like, have that. If you've failed and you've had that meal off plan or whatever, and again I say meal off plan very lightly because you can make better decisions and just track your food with macros. If you have any questions on this or you want any guidance, drop me a message. If you're a client, we should be communicating around this anyway. I hope we are. We wait. We're just going to touch on the growth of Train by Fox in a way. So, as you're probably aware by now, recently launched the Train by Fox HQ Instagram page. The reason for this is to essentially divide my profile and the HQ. So the HQ is going to be where you see the client stories, the client transformations, the client takeovers, any YouTube content, whether that's client impact videos or Be the Formula episodes, future endeavours, i.e. I will be bringing back the Train by Fox podcast. I will be relaunching the website if it's not already done at this point. And the longevity of this is going to be to at one point in the future, if I was ever to take on another coach, that will be the home of Train by Fox. And then we've got profiles. And there's 2 packages available, the Unstoppable, the Life. And with those, is it giving people that come to me, because if you've followed me for a long time, you'll notice that a lot of clients that start out to me as average become athletes. And when I say average, I mean lifestyle clients. There we go, we can head to the gym now. So yeah, the page is for the team, for the clients. As you can see, that the community we've built here, the team days, etc., is just going to be able to be there. And then for myself, I can post a little bit more short educational content potentially on my page, potentially on the HQ bar. I want a place where if anyone that doesn't know about Train by Fox, if they ever come across that profile, they'll scroll down, see numerous transformations, testimonials, YouTube videos and so on, and it isn't just butchered around a lot of my random kind of content where I touch on things like today's post, cheerleading versus coaches, yada yada yada. But you'll see more of that. Gonna head to the gym, we've got pool today, and yeah, enjoy.